What does a Chinese company have in common with Epic Games, Tesla, Riot, Blizzard and much, much more? Stay tuned to find out. Today I would like to introduce you to a giant Chinese corporation that is entering the global gaming world with a confident and lively step. We are talking, of course, about Tencent, a company that is a real threat to the largest companies in the world. The Chinese do not intend to let go and give up investing on each of the continents, and their tentacles reach almost every corner of the world. Tencent is a large holding company based in Shenzhen, as well as the world's largest gaming company based largely on its own investments. The corporation has been operating since 1998, selling various services also in the field of technology, artificial intelligence and entertainment. Today, it is the largest game publisher and developer in the world with annual revenues of over $86 billion. Since 2004, Tencent has been maintaining and developing online games, and since 2008 it has been granting licenses for the use of its brands. It is the owner of, among others, Riot Games, the studio responsible for the popular MOBA League of Legends, and the Chinese clone of Counter-Strike, Dynamic Valorant. Already in 2011, Tencent came after Epic Games, buying a minority stake in brands such as Fortnite, Gears of War, Unreal and Infinity Blade. Then he invested nearly $46 million in Kingsoft Network Technology, a company responsible for the development of cloud services for online games, mainly in China, and then participated as an independent investor in the division of shares and value packages of Activision Blizzard, together with Vivendi. It currently owns 4.9% of the shares of the creators of Call of Duty and Warcraft. Tencent also has exclusive rights to distribute HBO's work throughout China, which it secured in 2014 and nothing has changed since then. In addition, the Chinese bought an equal 5% stake in Tesla for approximately $1.78 billion United States dollars. You have to admit they have a lot of momentum. They are quietly buying shares in the world's largest corporations, and they also have exclusive rights to solutions used mainly in China. They bought the largest taxi corporation in the Middle Kingdom or gained complete control over the Chinese Baidu search engine, i.e. the equivalent of Google. However, Tencent did not intend to stop there and in the years 2017 to 2022 made further, extremely important investments. It bought, among others, WeChat, which was used by nearly 770 million people at the time of the acquisition. The company also bought a 9% stake in a company called Frontier Developments, the creators of Elite Dangerous and the Roller Coaster Tycoon series. The Chinese also bought a 12% stake in Snap, helping to expand Snapchat first in China and then around the world. However, they lost this race to TikTok, but I am convinced that they will invest in it in some way. One of the next purchases was Turtle Rock Studios, the creators of Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood. In addition, in 2022 the Chinese acquired as much as 49.9% of shares in Ubisoft, having a real impact on the activities of this giant game provider. The company also has a 16% stake in From Software, a 40% stake in Epic Games, which may be bought out in its entirety, a 22% stake in the Polish Bloober team, as well as a 5% stake in Paradox Interactive and a 3.8% stake in Remedy Entertainment. The number of entities in the gaming industry that have been somehow invested by Tencent reaches as many as 45, of which the Chinese have 100% ownership with only 9 of them. In addition, Tencent bought a 14.4% stake in the Glue mobile brand, which was fully acquired by Electronic Arts. They also invested in projects implemented by Take-Two and bought a 5% stake in the Chinese game science studio responsible for the famous Black Myth, Wukong. In fact, the scale of the whole business is impressive. And this is not the end of the investments. We are talking here only about the technological or gaming world, but Tencent is also very active in the field of VR, metaverse development, autonomous vehicles, artificial intelligence and social networking sites. It is a real giant and a huge super corporation, rightly referred to as the largest in the world in terms of reach, although it currently employs only 112,000 employees. Tencent does not intend to let go and is already announcing further, gigantic investments. Recently, he was very interested in taking ownership of the entire Activision Blizzard, but apparently Microsoft offered a slightly larger amount and is also an American company, and those in the USA are considered first. The Chinese are finally going to finalize the takeover of Epic Games. Who knows what will happen in the next few years? However, let me ask you a question. Would you like the Chinese corporation to shine so freely on the global gaming market? What is your opinion on this?